If you get a TfL penalty charge notice, you can either pay or appeal. A TfL fine could set you back a whopping £160 for failing to pay the congestion charge or parking on a red route. London penalty charge notices are a bone of contention for me because mine ended up costing me over £600 after a run-in with a bailiff. Let me run you through my 6-point guide to appealing your London penalty charge notice. 1. You didn't own the vehicle when the offence occurred. Have you sold your vehicle and someone was quick off the mark to land you with a PCN? Well, get your logbook and make a copy to prove that you weren't the owner of the vehicle at the time. 2. No offence was committed. Now, occasionally, ANPR gets it wrong. The registration may not belong to you, so again, provide copies of the proof that it isn't your vehicle. Now, you may be wondering which offences can land you with a penalty charge notice. You'd get a PCN if you were parked on a red route or because you drove in a bus lane when it's not permitted, you didn't pay a London congestion charge on time, or you parked on a red route. I got mine for passing keys out of my car in a no stopping zone. 3. You weren't within a charging area during charging hours. On weekdays between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m, if you enter the congestion zone, you'll have to pay the charge. On bank holidays and weekends, you'll have to pay between midday and 6 p.m. 4. Your vehicle was stolen at the time of the offence. Get a crime reference number from the police from when you reported it missing. 5. You're a rental company and the vehicle was out on hire when the charge was issued. Gather all the documents that you need and take photos to send online with your appeal. And finally, 6. Mitigating circumstances led to the offence being committed. Now, sometimes there might be a major accident which sends you through the congestion charge and you didn't know. Also, there may have been some sort of an emergency where you were rushing to hospital or something just as drastic. Again, with all of this, just make sure that you have the evidence that you need to back you up, or your vehicle may have broken down. Now, the PCN goes to the registered keeper, which is why it's so important to update your address with the DVLA when you move. I learnt the hard way. You'll receive it within 14 days of the offence, unless the DVLA is slow to respond to a request. But if you think that your penalty charge notice is unjust, then you have to appeal. Do it as quickly as you can because it puts your fine on hold and you can see how quickly things can escalate. The quickest way to appeal is online, and I'll leave a link to that just below the video. Supporting evidence can include witness statements, photos, and copies of any other documentation to support your case. But please don't ignore a TfL penalty charge. First, you'll get a charge certificate and the fine goes up by 50%. So instead of paying £160, you'll have to pay £240. You'd have a further 14 days to pay the increased fine, and when you don't, an order of recovery is issued. The fine becomes a debt at this stage and the details are recorded at the Traffic Enforcement Centre. A fee is also added to the fine, making it even more expensive. You've got another 21 days to pay before the bailiffs get involved, or enforcement agents, whatever you want to call them. At this stage, the fine goes up again because of the bailiff fees, so trust me, you don't want this to happen. You may find that an appeal is rejected even when you have the grounds to challenge it. If this happens, you could end up paying a lot more than the original fine, so it may be worth having someone glance over whether or not to appeal. If you know someone to help, great, but if you don't, you could use an online solicitor like JustAnswer. They've got a £5 trial and you can get a quick professional opinion, which is a lot less than your £80 PCN. Tell them in the chat about your fine and they'll give you some sound advice. I'll leave that link below the video, and if you use it, you'll be supporting Thrifty Family, so thanks.